What's going on, guys? This is Ben here, bringing another Brawl Stars video. So we had a lot of changes in this recent update maintenance here. A lot of changes that I actually agree with and I'm happy about. So I want to go over those today so you guys know exactly what's going on within the game right now. And then I also will probably have like some spike power level 1 gameplay going on my push up to 500. So it's a little bit difficult, but we'll get there eventually. So that's probably going on in the background right now. But yeah, a lot of changes, like I said, and a lot of good changes that I've been actually wanting for a while, so I'm happy about this. So the first one though is one that I'm a little bit sad about. It is the Night Witch Mortis skin price is increased to 150 from 59. So you guys know the special offer price for him was 59 gems, so which was not bad, but now they are finally making it the full price, so no longer can you get them for that deal. But hey, it's okay. Some of you guys didn't like the skin, some of you guys did. I personally like the skin. I like the funniness of it. I think it looks amazing like while you're actually playing them in the match, and like the animations and stuff. Some people didn't like the picture. It's okay. He can be a cross-dresser, he can be whatever he wants. I still think it's funny. I hope they do like more funny skins in the future, but that's the first change. Then brawlers being pushed by explosions, this is like springboards, dyna jumps, etc., are no longer invisible when flying over bushes. So if a dynamite was hopping in the grass before, you wouldn't be able to see him. So now when you're being pushed and you're like out of the grass, like in the air, you're actually flying, like the grass doesn't just go all the way to the ceiling anymore and then still invisible, you're gonna be able to see them. So that is nice. Just a little small change there, but nothing too major. Now with Gene, his magic hand starts flying a bit further away from Gene. This is when you first use it, so it's not going to start. You guys know how right now on his super, when you first launch it, his hand like starts at him and then it goes outward. Now it's going to start a little bit further away from him. We don't know the exact details about how far it will be. You guys probably do once the maintenance is over. You'll probably be able to test around and play with it, but it's going to start further away. And then it's also, because previously the hand was spawned right on top of Gene, this improves the look of the skill and also makes hitting slightly easier because it's going to be quicker, it seems like. And then the magic hand returns slower back to Gene. So this is kind of interesting. They made it with the wording that they have there. It seems as though that magic hand is going to be quicker to the target, but in return it's going to drag them a little bit slower back to Gene. So maybe if you're getting dragged, you can have a chance to shoot at him and defend yourself. But the chance that you're going to get dragged is higher now because it's going to be it's going to be a little bit quicker. So a lot of changes with Gene's like over this last balance change with his super going through walls, breaking walls and everything. So crazy. I'm very excited to see how this will do. Now we have some siege changes here. There's a lot of them here. A lot of like improvements that I'm all for. So, but I really do love the siege game mode. Like I really am enjoying it, and I actually do like the trophy gains and everything. It sucks though if you try and go in solo, and sometimes you feel like you can lose a lot of trophies fast. But if you have a good team, a solid, like maybe a couple of friends to play with, siege is very fun once you get the right comp and everything. But before the first siege starts, bolts spawn always in the middle axis of the level. They will spawn more randomly after first siege bot is destroyed. This is nice. They say it's in the first axis of the middle, or the axis of the middle of the level. I assume like if you draw like an imaginary line across the middle of the map, that's where all of the bolts are going to be spawning for until the first siege, which it makes it more fair. It comes down less to like random spawning and everything. And if you hear rain, I don't know if my mic's picking up how loud this rain is, but it's like downpouring right now. So, and I'm actually happy because you guys know I live in Wisconsin. Brutal winters. It's like 50 degrees right now. That's unheard of, and it's raining. All the snow is melting. So maybe basement flooding and stuff. I hope not, but a lot of water out there. So totally sidetracked, but I just heard it and it was loud. But yeah, so those bolts, those bolts spawning in the middle now, it's gonna make it more fair, and it's not gonna be like, oh, we didn't get any bolts spawning on our side. I hope they do that for gem grab too. Like I hope always that gem spawns right in the middle of the gem mine. Visually, it might look a little weird if it spawns right on top of it, because they're like, oh, why wouldn't it fall down down to the hole? Well, you could just spawn it like onto like the left side or the right hand side of like the gem mine, where like kind of like it's not in the hole, but it's still in the middle of the map. I would prefer that. And the bolts spawn a bit faster before the second siege starts. So siege 1, they're all going to spawn in the middle, and then after you take out that siege robot, they're going to start kind of spawning randomly again. And then the second phase here, they're gonna start spawning quicker. You guys know it was kind of like delayed, and it felt honestly like Siege was only for those last 2 siege robots is usually when the game was over. I know there are rare instances where you destroy someone with the first siege bot, but that was like if you were totally dominating them. This time around, it's more like, I feel like they're going more towards like making siege balanced throughout and not so factored heavily on the end game and who has more bolts and stuff, so I'm for that. But it also says the later phases are unchanged, so it's still going to be a lot of bolts spawning in that 3rd siege, the 4th siege, or whatever. So they're bumping it up a little bit in that second stage. So I'm excited for that. It's gonna be not as like, oh, we lost to 2-1 the first 2 rounds. It's okay. I feel like it's gonna be more control game mode now. After a siege bot dies, there is now a 5-second delay before new bolts start spawning. The intent is to slow down the game mode a bit and reduce the snowball effect after a successful attack. So before, this makes sense, because if you were already in control of the game, and it's a control-based game mode, right? But if you already were dominating on bolts, and you were pushing with the robot, getting a bunch of Ike damage, and then backing out and already picking up the bolts, while the enemy team is still trying to walk to the middle, that was a huge advantage. Now, you have to wait 5 seconds until after that robot dies. That's not like a significant amount of time, but it gives the enemy that just maybe took a massive amount of damage or died while they were pushing on their turret to like recoup, get repositioned, and actually try and fight for those new bolts that are going to be spawning. So it's going to be less swingy, and they like they said, they're trying to reduce like the snowball effect, which is nice. And then we also have a very, very good Ike change. So they increased the attack range by 0.67 tiles. This means that little Brock cheese strategy where you can just stand on the corner and shoot it while he's within that Ike range it showed, but he can stand behind that barrel and still deal damage. So now he can no longer do that. So the Brock like kind of like unintended shooting range, I don't know how to say it, the Brock glitch, let's just say, even though it really wasn't a glitch, it was just something that wasn't supposed to happen. Brock can no longer do that. He's gonna get targeted and take damage. So don't just run to the enemy side as Brock anymore. And that's really the last change for Seed. So a lot of good things. Just to recap, the bolts, the spawn changes are different on them. Obviously, we're gonna like, you'll just get a feel for it as we're playing. It's hard to like put into words exactly what's going down. And then we also have a huge change for big game. This one we have been calling for since Brawl Stars Global, I think. Honestly, back when maybe this was even called Boss Fight. It is. They significantly decreased the amount of health boss players' pets have. Jessie was too popular in this game mode due to high HP turret. Finally, man. You guys know Jessie was all over. She was so good as a boss. When you have the star power, even better. But it's just like, by the time you would take care of their turret, they would already have another one. And it was just getting to the point where it just wasn't fun a lot of times, like when Jessie just kept being that boss, it was just being annoying. And it's the same thing with Nita. When Nita had her bear, and it was just like way too powerful, where it literally took like all 5 of you that were hunting the boss to take care of it. And by that time, usually the Nita already had it. And some other times, like people don't even care about like those pets there, and they just go straight, maybe walk through and take all that damage, or don't really know how to play as a team when you're trying to take care of the boss, and will just not focus down those turrets. Because the only way to effectively win versus those brawlers was like as a collective 5 group as a whole, focus down like the turret or the bear, and then go for the brawler. Because without that, it's incredibly hard to just have one person trying to tank a bear or a turret. It doesn't work. And I feel like this is a much needed change. Like, they were just way too strong. I hope this changes the diversity of the game mode. We don't know exactly the stats at how much they have reduced the HP of these, but it's a step in the right direction. They even have done this before with like the Shelly, like when you guys know when Shelly has her slow, when she has her star power. They reduced that a lot. You guys remember when Frank used to be one of the best brawlers in big game, or if you didn't know, he used to be one of the best brawlers in big game because of his stun. And it would actually stun the boss brawler for the full duration of his stun. They reduced both of those times. So it only makes sense that they are now reducing the health or the amount of time that these turrets can be on the map. Now, I still want them to be like have a decent amount of health and kind of scale okay. But I want it to be like you can actually take these out, and it's not just like feels like it's impossible to solo one of these turrets on your own. Like, it was just like before they would get on the map and you couldn't do anything. So this is probably the change I am most excited for, because I was getting really frustrated and annoyed in big game with how the meta was. It was just like so many Jessies, a lot of Nitas, and it was getting to a point where it was getting stale. I think it was still fun game mode, but it was getting annoying seeing all those brawlers. So hopefully this improves the diversity. It's gonna allow you to play other brawlers in it, and it's gonna allow people to experiment and have a lot of fun. One thing I really want them to change though is the reward system for big game. I feel like they need to buff it. Like, if you take a brawler out in a short duration of time, you need to get a lot of rewards or near max rewards. Now, if you survive like 2 minutes and 30 seconds or 3 minutes, you need to get like max rewards in this game mode, because in terms of Brawl Ball tokens, like, there's like a boss fight is okay, but you can't max bet in that. But it's just like Robo Rumble is still like the best way to get max tokens, or even if you don't even get the full 6 minutes and 15 seconds, it's still a way better payout than in boss fight, because with boss fight it's so hard to even survive long enough. And even if you do had a good run, like say you got 2 minutes and 45 seconds, that still doesn't even compare to just getting maybe like 5 minutes or 5 minutes and 30 seconds in Robo Rumble. Like, I feel like they need to buff the token rewards in big game to make it so it's like more rewarding, and once like it's really fun. I really love the game mode. I'm playing it mainly for fun, but if you're going for token wise, it's better for Robo Rumble. Now, I don't know, I just feel like since how popular big game is, I want them to have proper rewarding and better, maybe update the reward system. I was playing Carl. The reason I'm able to play Carl is we have the developer build and everything. He isn't released just yet. He should be coming soon. They said later. Gene was released like March 15th. And they said later than Gene a little bit, so hopefully like the week after or something. So a little bit later in the month we can expect him. Maybe around March 15th to anywhere to the March 29th. That would be my guess, because they said they're going to release them later than when Gene was released. So that's all we have for right now. Let me know what you guys think about this maintenance change. Maybe they added some new cool things like into like this maintenance too, where they put maybe game modes that they just need to push a button to unlock them later in the month. I'm not sure yet, but hope you guys are excited. Let me know some